Hi there, this is Marty from owingsart.com. That's OWINGSART.com, and today we're going to take a look at two unique watercolor brushes. Courtesy of the folks from Savoir Faire, they sent over a couple of these brushes for me to check out. One is a synthetic and one is a natural hair brush. First today I thought we'd start off with this synthetic brush. This one here is the natural hair brush, but the darker one, or the black brush, is a synthetic brush made by Raphael. It's called a soft aqua, and it's a number 4. And I like the way it holds the water in there. First, before I ever use a brush, when it comes new, I like to rinse it out a little bit because it's got some glue in it to hold the brush shape tight. But and I really like the way this brush, for a synthetic brush, the way it applies the paint and the way it absorbs and holds the paint. It's very absorbent for a synthetic brush and really nice to use. One thing I did notice when testing these two brushes out is that this one is a little less absorbent than the natural brush, and we'll talk about those differences here in a second. But I really enjoyed using this Aqua soft brush, and it's really nice for a synthetic. And that's not to say that synthetics are any less usable than natural hair. It just sometimes it depends on what you're used to using. I just really enjoy this brush, and it's very nice. So yeah, it's good, and I'll absolutely keep it in my kit. It's by Raphael. The next brush I want to check out is this Isabey. It's a French brush, Siberian blue squirrel hair brush, and they still hand make these brushes in France, and that is probably why they cost a little bit more. And they say that cheap is never quality and quality is never cheap. Well, in the case of watercolor brushes like that, that is really true. And you really notice the difference, not only in the amount of paint the brush can hold, but just in its flexibility, the bounciness in the brush, and what I'll characterize as sort of what painters sometimes call a juiciness, or the ability to just hold and absorb a bunch of water and pigment inside the brush. And when we get into some of the darker colors, you'll see just how much paint this brush can hold, and it just takes a while to rinse it out between colors because it just soaks up so much of the paint, which is really, really nice. As I finish off these colors here, just testing the brush on these various colors, just a moment on quality. Every one of these brushes, these Isabey brushes, these blue Siberian blue squirrel hair brushes, is handmade start to finish. So the people have to apprentice 10 years, that's an entire decade, before they're even allowed to make these brushes. It takes 7 years just to learn how the various brushes are made at Isabey, and so the French really invest in it. They are super high quality. You know instantly. The brush itself is a work of art and a work of craftsmanship, and every master watercolorist should probably have one or two of these brushes in their kit. So this is really just an example of how well these brushes do. I'm going to try to. I've got this ink drawing here in a sketchbook, and I'm just going to try to add a little bit of color to it here with the brush. And everything about this brush, from the feel of it to the absorbency of the Siberian blue squirrel hair, to just the way it holds that juiciness, the way it holds the paint and puts it on the paper, is every bit the experience that you think it should be, and it would be. So if you're not a great painter, will the brush help you? Probably not a ton, but it won't hurt. I can tell you that. And if you are an expert painter and you're very good at it, watercolor, you'll notice immediately the degree of control you can get, and just the application of paint and the sheer amount of pigment the brush itself holds. I almost have to rinse the brush just to tone down the pigment a little after I put it in the paint, because it just holds so much. So I feel like that's just a value add when you buy these brushes. So the little extra money you pay Sometimes it's a lot extra, I'll grant you that, but for the extra money, you can't beat the experience with these brushes. They're just fantastic. So right in this spot, I added a little too much paint, so I had to dry the brush and then take some paint back off with the brush, and it's just as absorbent when you dip it into paint you've put on the paper already, so it'll just soak it right up. It's really quite amazing, actually. And same with this building here, that little yellow I'm adding. Paint went on a little thick, so I needed to take a little of it back off, and it was just really no problem to do that with this brush, which with cheaper quality brushes you just don't find that to be true. So this is really just a quick sketch in watercolor with these paints and this brush, which is just, like I said, it's just amazing and fun to use. It's really a step up with your kit if you add it in there. And just take really good care of it because they're not cheap. I think this particular brush retails for well over $100 US. So again, my real appreciation goes out to Savoir Faire for sending these brushes over to me to check out. I really appreciate that, and the opportunity to use it and put it to the test today. It's an amazing brush. Both these brushes really are well constructed, but I'm especially impressed with this Isabey French-made, handmade, highly crafted brush. It's just incredible. If you get a chance to use one, please do so. I highly recommend it. Well, thanks a lot for stopping by today, and don't forget to leave a comment or a question. I always respond as quickly, as fast as I can. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Well, this has been Marty for owingsart.com. Thanks a lot, and have a great day. So long for now, everybody.